Hey everybody, this is Lisa, proud owner of Body Soul Training, and welcome back to our program, The Inner Life of Fitness, where we share inspiring stories to help ignite your inner and outer strength. I am so excited for today's guest. I've known this gentleman for a long time, and he has always inspired by his energy and his positive outlook on life. So I want to welcome our viewers. Please welcome Paul Roberti to our show.
Hello, Lisa, and thank you for having me on.
Hey.
I look forward to talking to you.
Well, I know you and I never have a problem of having a conversation, so I'm so excited. Yeah. I want to share a little bit with our viewers, just to give them a little bit, and then I'd like you to share with them about what I'm about to talk about. Certainly. So you used to be a phys ed teacher and an athletic trainer at Newton Country Day at Sacred Heart, right? You were a former competitive triathlete. You're a very talented photographer, and you love fly fishing, traveling, and good Italian food. Am I right?
Oh, the best Italian food.
So, Paul, if you wouldn't mind sharing with our viewers, we'd love to hear about your journey and your outlook in life. You know, you've had a lot of challenges in your life, unexpected things that have happened, and yet it always seems that you don't let those obstacles stop you. You know, for example, after you completed a triathlon years ago, you know, your life completely changed when you were hit by a car. I remember you sharing that story with me, and now you're paralyzed. Would you mind sharing your story with our viewers?
Well, it was a triathlon that I did on July 20th of 2003 in Webster, Massachusetts, at Webster Lake. A beautiful Sunday morning, and it was around 9 o'clock. And I had done races with this gentleman for 17 years. And for 17 years, he always used to start my age group off last. But at this triathlon, he reversed it and started us off first. And I came out of the water and I was in, I think 4th or 5th place. And the last thing I remember was being in Thompson, Connecticut on a back road. And I was flying down the road, chasing the gentleman in front of me. Went through an intersection. The young man was on his way to church, stopped at the stop sign, made a left-hand turn, got supposedly blinded by the sun, hit me into the intersection, and supposedly threw me 25 to 30 feet in the air, landed on my back, and that was the end. And my life changed. I ended up flying down on a Learjet to Atlanta, Georgia, to do my rehab there, and I spent 3 months there, came back, and life was different. But I never let anything get me down, I guess. I don't know. My parents always used to tell me, well, you're very strong-willed. And I go out and I seek things that I want to get done and things that I want in my life. And fitness was always a big part of it. And you knew that, being at the Jewish Community Center and running the fitness center there. Nothing was ever done in Rhode Island for people.
Yeah. Well, that's you know, when we met around 2008, and you just have this presence about you. So when you come into this room, I remember you were looking for fitness facilities and this is where our relationship, and this is where we met. You were looking for fitness facilities that were adaptable for people, right? Because even though, and I'm sorry that happened to you, but thank you for being an inspiration to show people that, you know, yeah, this happened. What are you going to do with it? And that's why we're doing this program, The Inner Life of Fitness. So when we met right away, I never felt you go like, you never had a chip in your shoulder. You were just like, okay, what are we going to do? I still have to work out. Lisa, I'm looking for this gym right away. You and I were like.
So I took you up to the South Shore YMCA in Quincy, Mass. And I went there 3 times a week for a whole year.
This was after your rehab. So you went down to Charlotte, you said, for a...
Right. No, to Atlanta, Georgia.
To Atlanta, Georgia.
To the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And did my rehab there for 3 months. Came back.
Did
Okay.
you have any down moments, Paul, through that journey? Did you have anything?
Oh, I'm sure I went through the 5 stages of grief.
Okay.
Everybody goes, most everybody goes through the 5 stages of grief.
So that's important. Yeah. What are the, I mean, so I think people need to hear that. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
oh my God. I don't know if I can remember the whole 5 stages of grief. But the first stage is denial. Then it's making a pact with Jesus, making a pact with the Lord. Lord, why did this happen to me? Make me better. Okay.
Yeah.
And then denial
Yeah.
is another one. And I can't remember the other two.
I'm sure, but I think it's important for people to know that they're looking at you and they're going to hear and they're seeing and feeling the same energy of this positive energy that just oozes out of you.
Right.
But you still had to go through those phases.
Right. I went through those phases, but I don't think I lingered on them.
Okay.
All right. I might have gone through them a lot quicker.
What were some key points? So you're saying that health and fitness wasn't a very integral part, but what other things have helped you throughout that time that kept you in that to keep moving forward?
I had a good support group behind me.
Nice.
Thank God for that.
So
I had a wife that was very supportive of me, and my family and her family. So that helped me out a great deal. It took a good 3 years, Lisa, though, for me to adapt to it, for my body to adapt to it. Because for the first 3 years, I was always sick. I was always getting UTIs and, it felt horrible in and out of the hospital. So after the first 3 years, my body adapted to it and I started doing much, much better.
do you still have adaptation?
Every once in a great while, knock on wood. But when I do get them, they can be disastrous if I don't catch them right away. So I try to catch them right away and get the medication in me, and I'm not as bad. But if I don't catch it right away, it can knock me out for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you came out of rehab, that's when you realized you still wanted to work out, and that's when our path.
And coming back to Rhode Island, it just wasn't anything really that was wheelchair accessible. So I found the South Shore YMCA kind of by accident and ended up going to the South Shore YMCA. And then I contacted you to see if we could do anything at the Jewish Community Center.
Yeah.
Now, finally, after all these years, there is the Cranston YMCA now has a center because, there was a gentleman who was a boxer, a fighter, who got hurt, started a foundation, and he put the money together and put it together there.
Well, I just, so personally, you made a positive impact in my life, and you and I in 2008 and 2009 started this journey together because I was feeling that's wrong. So able-bodied people sometimes take for granted, but that can change in a blink of an eye. And then you realize, oh my gosh, there's nothing for me out there.
Right. It's very important, I think, for people with disabilities to be able to exercise and work out because they are susceptible to cardiovascular injuries a lot more so because we don't move.
Mm-hmm.
We're susceptible to diabetes because we don't move. If you gain weight, boom, you can get sugar. So fitness was still a good part of my life. It has always been that way ever since I was a young boy. And I just wanted to carry it on.
I just want to say thank you. I know when I asked you to be on the show, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about is how you do advocate for people with disabilities, and you were so humble about it. You were like, "What have I done?" So I want to talk about that right now, and you probably have forgotten, but you have done a lot. And we still talk about it today. And, back in, if Ed can put up that slide, I don't know if you remember the committee we started.
Oh, yeah, the New Horizons Adaptive Fitness.
That's right.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
And when I
you,
was on Barbara, and I was interviewed by Barbara Morse.
so tell us about it.
Yeah, Barbara Morse did a whole show on not why there wasn't a fitness center in Rhode Island that was wheelchair accessible because I contacted her. I was good, I knew Barbara from being an athletic trainer, and I contacted her and I said, "Hey, Barbara, I think I got a show for you." And sure enough, we put a show together on why there
Yeah.
wasn't a fitness center in
But
Rhode
but
Island.
we did a lot before then, and the mission of that nonprofit from through the Jewish Community Center. So it was me, you, and other people that were on this committee to try to bring awareness to Rhode Island that why would someone have to leave Rhode Island to be able to work out if they're not an able body. To bring awareness to fitness centers to at least have adaptable equipment that when someone comes in, you need to be more aware of, what are the showers like? What is it like when I'm walking in the door? Is it easy for me to check in? And because of you walking in that door and introducing yourself to me, and I'm not saying that, I don't have my eyes open, but I always have my ears open. And when someone comes and presents something, you opened my eyes a lot. And I believe our time there at the JCC, we did a lot of good, because of you,
We did
you
do a lot of
personally.
good.
Yeah, you raised over $4,000 personally, which allowed the JCC, which I believe they still have today, thanks to you, Paul Roberti, is a new chairlift that's actually truly handicap accessible. That someone who is even a quadriplegic could get in there, correct?
Yeah, and they can also get in, I got the chair to get into the pool.
Exactly. And the
Right.
new step.
And
So,
the
and
new
that
step
was
machines,
over.
I got you.
That's right. So
Yeah.
we weren't able to make huge changes, but because of you, not
Yeah,
giving up.
we did some things.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, we added some good to the program that was never there before. So that was
And
great.
so Barbara Moss wouldn't have interviewed you, Paul, no matter how much she liked you and how charming you are. She wouldn't have done that if you weren't making a positive difference. And she saw that it needed to be brought aware. And I hope that people that are watching today, Paul, because we talked about this, it still needs help. And there was one thing that I would love to talk about is people don't realize handicap parking. If you're an able body, park far away. Explain to them. You really opened up my eyes about that. And I don't park in handicap parking, but can you explain a little bit
All
about
right.
spacing
Well,
and?
number one, there's a handicap spot,
Yes.
okay, that has a sign on it. All right. But then next to that handicap spot, there is a spot where there's lines. Okay. People go and they park on the lines. Well, if I'm in the spot where the sign is, and you park next to me on that space where the lines are, and I come out, I can't get into my van because you're right next to me. Happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, when I go to the mall, all the time it happens. Um, People need to be aware of that.
Please. So if you're listening, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners that are, but spread the word. And and I know I've seen people who are able-bodied parking, handicapped parking, and I've kindly gone over. And usually they're kind, and you're in a rush. Well, how much of a rush are you in? If you got hit by a car and you're paralyzed, it's going to affect you. So I just, that always bothered me. And so I'm glad that you're talking about it. It's
Right.
the little things.
I'm sorry?
Alyssa Silva just said it's very relatable. She
Yeah.
was on our show a few weeks ago. She has spinal muscular atrophy, and I know her and I have talked about our conversation. So she
Right.
just actually, let's see. I think she just said it's relatable. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So please. I mean, that's like two people that I know of. Don't park in handicapped parking,
Right.
and
Don't
because of
park
our
in
conversation.
handicap parking, and be aware. I have a wheelchair accessible van.
Mhm.
Okay, on my right side, my right door, on the sliding door, there's a big sign that says, "Please don't park within 10 feet of this van."
Yeah.
Right? Guess what? I
They do.
come out, people are right next to me. I
Yeah.
can't get in.
Yeah. I'm sorry. And
Yeah,
hopefully
happens
maybe.
all the time. And then I gotta try to find out where the hell you, excuse me,
Oh,
where
I
the heck,
knew it. I knew it.
I didn't mean to say that. And then I have to find out where the heck you are so I can ask you to please come
Yeah.
out and move your van, or else I have to ask somebody, will you move my van back for me so I can get in?
Yeah.
It
You
happens
know,
all the time.
it does. I think because, in America, at least, the world is moving too quick. And I think COVID has slowed people down and opened their eyes. And that's why another reason why I'm doing this program to help inspire and make a difference. So I'm glad that we're talking about it. I'd like to talk about what you're doing now. You look still fit.
Thank you.
You and I.
I feel great. I lost a considerable amount of weight, but
Yes.
I feel much better than I did.
So what have you been doing? Sherry
Well,
does.
what have I been doing? I was doing a great deal of traveling
So you
for a
love
while
traveling.
until
Yeah.
this COVID thing stepped in. Actually, I had a trip planned uh, April of April of 2019 that I was supposed to go fly into Barcelona, Spain, get on a cruise ship, and then go down the Amalfi Coast.
So was it easy to find handicap accessible traveling?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of airlines that are really really great.
So
Take good care of you, and so I don't have any issues with that. Thank
good for
God
you.
that's pretty darn good. But it got canceled, so right now I haven't been doing any traveling.
So you're looking forward to some traveling.
Oh yeah, I want to go back. I want to do this trip. I want to do this trip down the Amalfi Coast.
What
That's a
about
definite. And then my next trip is to Iceland. Excuse me.
Iceland?
I, yeah,
Nice.
that's my
Good for
next.
you.
My
Good
next.
for you. What
Yeah,
about
to photograph.
fly fishing? You still fly fishing?
I'm still doing some fly fishing, but photography has now taken up a great deal of my time and my interest.
So you
Um, I
so
love. I've been.
you can show some of Paul's photography. He does do beautiful work.
Yeah, I got into photographing sailing and waterfront and landscaping. Being from Rhode Island, uh, the ocean has always been a great love of mine, and sailing was always a great love of mine. And in 2018, when the Valvo Ocean Race came to Rhode Island, I wanted to photograph that, and I found a gentleman in Newport who was uh, um, a world-renowned photographer. So I contacted him, and he took me out, and I learned a great deal from him.
Wow, these
So,
pictures are absolutely stunning. Can I how can I buy them?
you can purchase any one of my photos, from a 5x7 to a 24x36, by either going on to my Facebook page, Paul Roberti, or my business page, which is PL Roberti Photography, uh, and contact me there, or contact me directly at 401 374 3443.
Absolutely
And you
beautiful.
can purchase my photos either framed or unframed, from 5x7 to 24x36.
They're beautiful. Ed, if we could look at those pictures again, if you don't mind, because they're
Yeah.
just stunning. If
So if
we
you
can
have
look
a
at,
special someone who is into the ocean and sailing or whatever, who has a special spot, then possibly in their office or in their home, give me a call and I'll get a photo out to you.
so one of our viewers are saying Susan Greenhouse is saying you're gorgeous pictures and that you're living life more fully than many other people are. So you're definitely,
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
It's funny because I photographed a race a couple of weeks ago, and
yeah.
I wish I had sent the photos to you, at the Newport Yacht Club,
Oh,
and it was a cold day,
yeah.
and the woman that I when I go out to photograph those races, I charter um, a chase boat
Okay.
called Newport Photo Boat, which is owned by a gentleman. His name is Doug Ward, and his partner is Masha. And Masha wrapped me up in all these blankets
Yeah.
and then put it on Facebook. Actually, you can go on Facebook and see it.
Oh, we can check
Actually, you
that
can go on my page and see it. That says, if you are inspired, then nothing will stop you, and nothing stops me. I always find a
Can
way.
you repeat that again? Because you just gave me goosebumps.
She put these pictures on Facebook.
But you said
of
if
me.
you're inspired.
If you're inspired, okay, and you think outside the box,
Yeah.
and you want to do it, there's always a way to get it done. And that's what I do.
I kind of feel like we need to drop the mic and head out on that, but this is what I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, all my viewers, Paul Roberti, we've known each other for a long time, since about 2008, 2007. The man you see now is the same man who came into the JCC, and him and I instantaneously, our souls and our spirits were speaking the same language, drinking the same.
I love you. I love you, Lisa. You're the best.
I love you too.
You are the best. And you know I would do anything for you.
Yeah. Well, we've been there. I know you've been there for me during different times in my life, but it's people like yourself, and that's why I'm doing this show, that when you have a down day, you know what, I'm going to get through it. And that's what these stories are about. You know what?
There's always tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. So any advice you want to give to our listeners? I think you've already shared a lot. Or do you want to maybe
try to make every day of your life as if it's the last, and live it to the fullest.
That's beautiful.
Yep, and that's what I try to do.
That's beautiful. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, Paul. You're just a true light and a true positive pebble in this world. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Lisa.
And you are advocating. And I'm hoping just by this show today, other people are going to help advocate. And advocate doesn't mean that you have to go join a committee. Advocate means, hey, if I pull up to a parking spot, maybe someone's going to be a little bit more aware and not park, and give someone who has a handicap van enough room to get their because I've been with you. We've been for lunch. We've had to circle around, and because you couldn't get your ramp out, we couldn't get out.
Right.
So yeah, live for today like it's your last. And if you're inspired, you can do anything. I love those words. I'm going to borrow those words, Mr. Paul Roberti.
Thank you, Lisa.
Please check out Paul Roberti's Facebook page. If you love his photos, I know I do, and I know I'm going to be purchasing one. And we want to thank you for joining today. And if you need Paul's number and not sure how to get it, you can always email me. So again, thank you, Paul, from our viewers.
You're welcome. My pleasure being on. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So everybody, all my viewers, thank you for joining today. I hope you enjoyed our show. Tune in to next week. So if you like hearing stories about being physically fit, how about being financially fit? That's right. So our guest next week is going to be a story that's going to inspire you through with a girlfriend of mine, Susan Greenhalgh. She's the president of Mind Your Money, and she's a money coach, and she got me comfortable with numbers a long time ago. So if I can get comfortable with numbers, you got to hear this woman and her inspiring story of how she's now a financial coach and helping people get financially fit. So I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have a show, if you have an inspiring story, you can email me, bodysoultraininglisa.com. You could also email me at lisa@bodysoultraining.com right there. And I just want to thank you. And remember to take it one day at a time, move more, drink more water, and breathe. See you all next week on the Inner Life of Fitness.